It's minus 20 out there, Celsius, and it's pretty darn cold. I can tell you the wind has got to be way colder than that, and it's supposed to get close to minus 30 tonight. And I just came out in this really thick wool sweater. I have a wool sweater underneath, and then I have a couple of other layers, plus my snow pants, as I call them, my bibs. They have a bit of wind protection. And when I was walking, I'm telling you, I was sweating in that cold wind. I was overheating. I had to unzipper everything. But now that I'm cooling off, I can really feel the chill starting to hit my bones. So I've got to get this fire going right away. It's minus 20 Celsius in the tent. That's about minus 5 Fahrenheit. I'm starting off with some birch bark. Some really dry branches. I put some stuff in there. Yeah, just like that. You can see the steam coming off of my sweater, my head, my hands. It's pretty awesome. Drying me out. So since I was sweating, I gotta take off this wool sweater and allow for the cool air to get at my body a bit, dry me out, and then I'll put it back on when I go outside. This sweater is beautiful. It's a beautiful sweater. It's made by a small company called Rocky Mountain Outfitters Canadian made, New Zealand wool, handmade. I love these sweaters. I just love them, and I love the fact that it's just a small little company. I don't even think they have a website. Got to get used to this cold. It's by far the coldest day. I know I said it earlier, but holy, can really feel winter. It's going to be cold tonight for sure. I'd imagine the wind chill is going to be in the -30s. So today is a day where I've really got to, I'm going to go out and I've got my gas chainsaw here, and I've got my eye on a few trees, and I'm going to really go to work. And I have to. I've got enough wood here for a weekend, and I want to be able to have enough wood here for a week. That's what I'm going to do today. It's a day of wood and lots of delicious food. I've got a couple of really good meals, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cut down a couple of trees after I finish this coffee, and then make myself a really nice sandwich. Pretty cold. This tree here will easily be the biggest tree I've ever taken down around the tent. For around here, that's quite girthy. Quite the number of dry branches going up the tree, but for me, I love those. I take them and I use them. There's actually quite a few really good trees around here. I think I could take down maybe 4 or 5 today and give myself a good load of wood. This will invite the animals, if anything does. In my last video, There was a comment. Someone said, Jay, you need to get a wood cutting board. And I completely agree. So I looked in my cupboards, and what do you know? I had a small little wooden cutting board that I could donate to the tent. This cucumber is a bit frozen, you can see. It froze on the way over, so that's okay. Little taste test. Very crispy. Oh, look how sharp that is. Right through a tomato, no problem. Not even serrated edge. Yes, okay. Oh, does that look good? Look how greasy that is. These are pretty small. I can make them work. A little bit of pepper. Okay. Oh yeah. That's going to be amazing. Now, does that look good or what? Okay, first bite. Let's see. Oh yes. This is my electric chainsaw, and I brought it up last week. A couple of issues. One, it's dull for sure. It's definitely dull. It's not cutting through anything. The battery is not good with a dull chain. So I'm gonna find a little bit tight, but that's okay for now. I'll cut myself. So on an average chain, there's a spot where, I don't even know what these things are called, teeth or whatever they're called. You'll find there's going to be a place where there's going to be two on the same side. And I use that as my guide. These are all opposite sides here. Opposite, opposite, opposite. Opposite, opposite, opposite. Either that or not on this chain. Most of them do. Just a good reference. There we are. See? Okay, so right here you can see there's two that are on the same side. Oh, they're going to be sharp. It's only 4:30, close to 5, and it's this dark. This is the reality up north. You've got to deal with a lot of darkness, and you still have to work. So I've got some lights set up here. Let's see how much I can get with that electric chainsaw. Some of these guys are like, that's got to be close to 100 pounds. That's pretty heavy. See how sharp this is. Oh yeah, like butter. I got 4 lengths of wood cut, and I got maybe, you call them junks back in Labrador, I got maybe 20 junks out of it, maybe. So that's the reality with an electric chainsaw. I mean, this stuff is really thick, and the chainsaw was definitely put to work. It's a whole heck of a lot sharper, that's for sure. But I mean, it's not much wood. This is it. This is all we got. There's good and bad with an electric. The good is when it's sharp, it works really well. In -20, that battery does not last at all. Tomorrow when I wake up, this is probably going to fall, I'm going to finish the job with the gas chainsaw, cut up the rest of that wood and stack it. So this is what I got with the electric. Not bad. I'd like to get twice as much. I think it would be it'd be a lot better. I got this new blade to replace this one. I've had this saw for a year. The blade isn't too bad, and I could probably sharpen it. I'm pretty sure they have files specifically built for these things. It's been a year of pretty heavy use, so I noticed the last time using it that it was pretty slow cutting. Now, oh yeah, I can tell just by rubbing it. I can barely even rub right across there, it's so sharp. What's going on here? Okay, it's really got to squeeze in there. Pretty simple. Let's see. Yes. Let's see how she cuts. What a difference. Wow. That's like twice as fast. I'm going to take all this stuff out tonight and put it in the tent. Some of them are pretty long. I don't know if that's going to fit. This stuff's been out for a while, so it's bound to be drier than the stuff I just cut. Pretty good. Goes up pretty high, and it's only like 6:30. I wouldn't be surprised if I devour all of that tonight between now and tomorrow morning. Now, there have been many times I've tried to light branches with just one match and failed, and there have been many times where I've succeeded. And I'm hoping that I can do it with one match. Windy. Okay. You can only hold on to a match for so long. There we go. Oh, I can't even keep one match going. Make them wedges. Oh, man. Yeah, that's good. We're getting closer. My headlamp is dying out. Not much power left. Oh, how does that look? Wow. Gonna need a little bit more of that though. A little more seasoning. Steak spice. Yes. Oh man. I gotta bring this light over so you guys can really see it. Look at that. Oh. Look at those wedges. I like them a bit dark. You don't want to have undercooked wedges. Yes. So I'm going to take the wedges first. Oh yes. And they're going to be greasy, but that's okay because it's a cold night. Get some of that fat in me. Oh man. Like really greasy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this grease right over this fire. So I'm not bringing used grease, the smell of used grease into my tent. Oh, look at that. Just going to do that like that. Oh man, do not fall. Do not. Good. You know, when you work really hard for a meal, it just tastes so much better. Just water, by the way, in this ginger ale bottle. Salt, just a little bit. Yes. Pepper. Mayonnaise. It's not frozen. Oh, baby. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Medium rare. Oh, man. It's pretty cold in the tent. It's cold outside too. It's minus 23 now. Wind chill is minus 31. And I need to get this thing cranking. These two pieces right here are really, really, really dry. There we go. My favorite thing to do at night when I get the stove going nice and warm is to turn my back to it and then have the cool air coming down here into my lungs and that warm stove. Like I'll open up the sleeping bag and expose my back to the stove, and the warmth, it's like I'm being hugged by the stove. It's a great feeling. I love the feeling. And if I have a bit of a chill and like I've let the stove get down to a small bed of coals and then I warm it up, and as that heat comes, it starts to warm up my back a bit. It puts me to sleep. It knocks me out. It puts me to sleep. I feel so good. Oh, it's amazing. So that's what I'm hoping for tonight. A nice warm back and a warm night in the sleeping bag. If I didn't have the stove and I just had the sleeping bag, I would have a really hard night tonight. Because this thing is like maybe rated to -5. So I'm so thankful. Like I love that wood stove. I absolutely love that thing, and I'm just learning more and more and more about it every single time I use it and come here. The more I'm here, the more I know. And you know, the guy who makes them, I have videos. I'll put a link up here, and the guy who makes these stoves, you know, it's just really awesome that he does this. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. 100 degrees Fahrenheit in here, 35 degrees Celsius. It's very hot. But that wasn't the case all night long, I can tell you that. So I made an error before I went to bed. I didn't have a great bed of coals in the bottom of the stove. It's pretty thin, and I put 3 very big rounds on top of the bed of coals, and then I closed the stove. I was warm when I first went to bed, and I definitely, if I'm going to be doing that, I definitely need my big sleeping bag back, and that's coming the next trip. So I started to open up the stove a little bit because I could feel the cold coming, so I wasn't sleeping very well. I wasn't getting into sleep. I was like, okay, I need to open up the stove. My concern was if I opened it all the way, I was going to burn way too fast. Like probably within 3 hours, I was going to have to fill the stove again if I opened it all the way up, because this stove gets ridiculously hot. Anyway, I decided to like have minimal heat coming out of the stove for about 2 hours, but I couldn't really get to sleep. And I stirred the stove, I opened it up, and then it started cranking. I fell asleep, and once the heat started to hit my body, I fell asleep pretty good. The thing I love about this spot, right here, this exact location, the table's awesome, but I've got the warmth of the stove up against my back. It's like I'm inside and outside all at the same time because I'm warm, but I'm cool. I love that. I talk about that a lot, being cold and warm at the same time. This spot's perfect for it. It's not so bad now. It's only minus 18. So there's a couple of things I want to do with this water. One, I want to have water ready for when I get back. I also need to put water in my water bottle for when I walk, because I'm bound to get thirsty. That water's warm. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously I'd like to have this thing filled to the top, but it is what it is. This is how much I got. And man, you know those trees, they look so huge. They just look so huge. And then you cut them down. It's like, it's nothing. I'm gonna do a little wash up here before I go. Oh, it's so hot. Yes. Oh. Oh. Oh, that feels good. Oh, yeah, that is refreshing. Okay, well, that's it for this trip. Another amazing trip. Last one for a little while. You won't see a video from me until mid-December. I would say early mid-December. I've got to take a couple of weeks away. Family priorities, you know. Life gets in the way sometimes. And that's, you know, those breaks make this place that much more special. When I, you know, if I'm coming out here every weekend, it's wonderful. If I'm coming out here every couple of weekends, it feels really good. It's like every time I walk through that door, I go, oh yeah, this is my spot. I love it. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, hit like. If you stuck around to this point, that's awesome. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And yeah, I'll be back really soon.